Welcome to another bonus edition of Upon Further Review.
Upon further review,
And in this edition, we'll be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Francisco 49ers. And this Week 5 matchup will be happening on October 5th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can catch that on your local CBS affiliates. So both of these teams are heading into this game with a record of 2-2. The Kansas City Chiefs started off the season at 0-2 as they lost at home to Tennessee, and then they went to Denver and they lost to the Broncos. They almost came back and tied that game up and sent it to overtime, but they lost by a touchdown. Then in Week 3 they went to Miami and they got their first win of the season. And then last week in Week 4 on Monday Night Football they blew out the New England Patriots. So they had a huge game and huge performances from Jamal Charles and Niall Davis. So it'll be interesting to see which Kansas City Chiefs shows up for this game in San Francisco. And the Niners, they started off with an impressive win in Dallas. So they beat the Cowboys in Week 1. But then they went home and they lost to the Bears. It was a heartbreaking loss for San Francisco fans. It was just the first regular season game played in Levi Stadium. They almost had it, but they lost by just one possession as they lost by 8 points. Then they went on the road to Arizona and they lost that game by 9 points to the Cardinals. But then they evened up their record at 500 as they got their first win of the regular season in Levi Stadium. It's the first win of any regular season. This is only the second regular season game played in Levi Stadium. This is the new stadium that they just started playing in this year. And in that game, their defense was very impressive as they actually were able to hold that high-powered offense of the Eagles to 0 points. The Eagles did not score one offensive touchdown or field goal in that game. All 21 of the Eagles' points came on special teams or defense, which on the one hand, that's a very good sign for the Niners defense that they did such a great job against the Eagles, but it's a little bit worrisome when it comes to the Niners special teams. So special teams is something that is overlooked a lot by fans and even by the pros. So they got to keep an eye out on that, and they got to make sure that they don't let up any special teams touchdowns against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are more than capable of scoring with their special teams. We saw that last year, and it'll be interesting to see this matchup here if we have any extra point or any special teams scoring. So as it is, let's look at the numbers for these two teams. And when it comes to passing attacks, both of these teams struggle to put up passing yards. The Chiefs are 27th in passing yards per game, and the Niners are 22nd. So they both struggle to pass the ball, but when it comes to defense, they're both good at defending the pass. They're both in the top 10 on passing defense. The Chiefs are 8th against the pass, and the Niners are 7th against the pass. So don't expect to see a lot of passing in this game. If we look at the running attacks, though, this is where these two teams shine. The Chiefs are 4th in the NFL in rushing yards per game, and the Niners are 7th. And when it comes to run defense, the Chiefs are 18th, so they're not very good at stopping the run. But the Niners, they are good at stopping the run, and this is where they have the clear advantage in this game, is they are number 2 against the run. So when it comes to running the ball, the edge has to go with the Niners, even though it's going to be a very interesting matchup to see the running offense of the Chiefs versus the running defense of the Niners. That's really the matchup to watch in this game. When it comes to points scored, the Chiefs are 10th in the NFL in points scored, and the Niners are 19th. So the Niners have been struggling to get points on the board. The Chiefs are, top 10. But when it comes to points allowed, the Chiefs also have the advantage there. They're number 8 in the NFL in points allowed per game, and the Niners are 12th. I mean, they're pretty close. They're both got good defenses. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. I got to go with the Niners in this game, especially it's in San Francisco. And that definitely is going to give the Niners a clear advantage. They've also, when you look at the numbers, I got to give it to them. They have the advantage in their passing attack and the advantage in the running attack. They're pretty evenly matched. The Chiefs have put up more points, but I expect the Niners to pull this one off. If we actually go and look at, Kaepernick, he's been kind of struggling to put up numbers through the air this year, but Smith has also been struggling as neither quarterback has thrown for over 300 yards so far. Of course, when it comes to protecting the ball, they both are looking pretty much the same. Kaepernick has thrown 4 interceptions, Smith has thrown 3. Kaepernick has 6 throwing touchdowns, Smith has 7, so they're pretty evenly matched right there. Kaepernick, though, he can run the ball. He hasn't scored, though, on the ground, but he has 187 rushing yards on the season. Alex Smith actually has 103 yards running, too, and he hasn't gotten in the end zone yet, but I won't be surprised to see either of these quarterbacks end up with a rushing touchdown in this game. And it'll definitely be interesting, too, where we have the extra little storyline there of Alex Smith going against his former team, the Niners. As we all remember, a couple years ago, Alex Smith was with San Francisco. He went down, and that's when Colin Kaepernick, came up. And then, that was really the end of Alex Smith in, San Francisco. And they made their decision when they ended up going with Colin Kaepernick in the playoffs there. And then they ended up in the Super Bowl. They lost that Super Bowl. Alex Smith went to Kansas City, last year, and they were looking really good last year. The first half of the season, they fell off in the second half. But here we are now in 2014 with these two teams both at 500. It'll be interesting to see which team escapes this game above 500 and which team ends up below 500 when it's all said and done there in San Francisco. But as I said, I'm going with the Niners in this one. I think, their running game is just going to be too much. I think Frank Gore is going to get, the ball into the end zone. I think as long as Kaepernick can protect the ball, of course, that's going to be a big question. And that's really going to, I think, make the difference in this game is going to be who protects the ball better, who causes the turnovers. I think the San Francisco defense should be able to contain the Kansas City Chiefs pretty well. Of course, that's going to be the Chiefs' key to success is Jamal Charles. If he has a big game, that'll give them a chance. But I think the Niners in the end are going to, squeeze this one out. I think it'll be a close game, probably come down to a field goal. Never know, though. The Niners, they have the potential to actually win this one by more, but I think it will come down to the end and be a close game. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Very interested to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, but only if you enjoyed it. Don't go hitting the like button just for the heck of it. Only hit it if you actually enjoyed this show. And if you did, hit that like button, because how else am I going to know you enjoyed it if you don't hit the like button? But don't hit it if you don't actually enjoy it. Anyway, as it is, if you do like the show, you can hit that subscribe button as well. And that's how you get more of this similar content, is we bring you upon further reviews for each and every single game, each and every single week. That's what you're listening to right now. We do this for all the games. We also give you recaps for each and every single game, each and every single week. We have our weekly show, The Wedge, where we do quick picks, fantasy picks. We have a weekly rewind, and that's when we do our upon further review for the Thursday night game. We try to get that up on Wednesday, sometimes as early as Tuesday, no later than Thursday. We have that up before the Thursday night game, try to have it up at the latest by Thursday morning. We keep an eye out for that. We're also covering the MLB playoffs all the way up to the World Series, and we cover some college football as well. So thank you very much for listening. We greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day and have a great weekend and enjoy all the exciting sports.